afternoon, good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Anjum Qureshi, and I welcome you all for the cybersecurity program, the cybersecurity certificate program that has been started nearly 2 days ago. And currently, I'm working as just give me a minute, I will share my screen. I'm working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. My research areas are Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and blockchain technology. And during my research, I have also published nearly 7 book chapters on the topics related to IoT and the cyber threats that are involved with it when we are using IoT. And today, I will be speaking on the topic cybersecurity and leadership. You- besides being a professor, I'm also a certified life coach, meditation trainer, and I have taken a number of programs, number of training programs around the world. So you must have already studied about cybersecurity, but here, because we have to study about leadership, I would like to start from what is cybersecurity. So the cybersecurity, it is a practice of protecting systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks. These cyber attacks are usually aimed at accessing, changing, or destroying the sensitive information, extorting the information to users, or interrupting the normal business process, and implementing effective cybersecurity measures is particularly challenging today because there are more devices than people and attackers becoming more innovative. Then what is cybersecurity all about? A successful cybersecurity approach has multiple layers of protection spread across the computer networks, programs, or data that one intends to keep safe. In an organization, the people, process, and technology must all complement one another to create an effective defense from cyber attacks. And a unified threat management system can automate integrations across select Cisco's security products and accelerate three security operations, definition, function, detection, investigation, and remediation. Now, when we talk about cybersecurity, there are a few more things that we have to talk. Firstly, that are involved is the people, because the user must understand and comply with the basic data security principles, like you should be selecting strong passwords, and you should be aware of attachments that are being sent through email and backing of data. The second one is the process, where the organizations must have a framework for how they deal with both attempted and successful cyber attacks. When one well-respected framework can guide it, it explains how you can identify the attacks, can protect your systems, can detect and respond to threats, and recover from successful attacks. So it is not that you should be knowing about the attack, but you should be also be knowing about how to recover when your system gets attacked or there are some security breaches in your system. Then, of course, the third element is technology, because it is essential to giving organizations and individuals the computer security tools, because we need these computer security tools to protect yourself, to protect our systems from the cyber attack. The three main entities must be protected: endpoint devices like computers, smart devices, routers, networks, and the cloud. So the common technology used to protect these entities includes next generation firewalls, DNS filtering, and malware protection, antivirus software, and email security solutions. So Why is cybersecurity important? Because cybersecurity in today's world, everyone benefits from the advanced cyber defense program. At an individual level, a cybersecurity attack can result in everything from identity theft to extortion attempts to the loss of important data like the family photos. Because we know that now we are so attached to our mobiles and we have been uploading so much of data on the social media. We have been sending it to one another, and it is a trend, especially among the youngsters. So here's when our system get attacks. Here by system, I just don't mean the your laptop or the computers, but even the mobiles that you're using and the social media apps that you're using, like the WhatsApp or the Facebook, LinkedIn. So any kind of apps that you must be using. So everywhere you are uploading your data. So everyone relies on critical infrastructure, like if you talk about like power plants, hospital, and financial services companies. And when we are talking about those companies, even these companies cannot work without the computer system. They cannot be working without internet. They cannot be working without software. So there is a need that we secure these and other organizations because we need to keep our society functioning. And when we talk about the cyber threat researchers, it is not only the persons who are working in the cybersecurity domain who need to learn about it or who will benefit from it, but each and every person, every common person on this earth is going to be affected, is going to be benefited when we know about the cyber threat and the harm it is causing. So, uh, be coming to the next one. So, what are cybersecurity threats? Yeah, these are some of the common security threats that we usually see. First one is the phishing. Phishing is the practice of sending fraudulent emails. I think yes, more and nearly every day we receive some fraudulent emails. So we must be knowing that how to detect this email. So and these emails, you can be getting some link into it, or you can be getting this emails from some unknown users. You never know
Types of
them,
security threats.
and they can be and there can be emails where the people try to ask some of your data. So please be aware that you shouldn't be clicking on any of the links, because this emails, such kind of emails, are intended to steal your data. So you can protect yourself through education or technology solution that will turn malicious emails. And then the second one is social engineering. The social engineering, it is a tactic that adversaries or the hackers will use to trick you into revealing sensitive information. Uh, and they can, gain access to your confidential data. And you must have heard of you just get a call and you ask for some kind of OTP or some kind of passwords, and your money gets deducted. So this is what sometimes it has been happening. So social engineering, it can be combined with any of the threads listed, like we have discussed, like where we are having some links where you have through this link, because most of the times it happens that you are actually downloading viruses or you are downloading malwares. So you should be very careful about it when you receive any such links to your emails or on your WhatsApp or any other social media that you must be using. The third is ransomware. It is again a type of malicious software. It is designed to extort money by blocking access to files or the computer system until the ransom is paid. And paying the ransom does not guarantee that the files will be recovered or the system is getting restored. So you should be aware of this kind of threats again. Then malware, yes, it is a type of software designed to gain unauthorized access or to cause damage to the computer. Now, what is a cyber attack? The cyber attack, it is a malicious and deliberate attempt by an individual or an organization to breach the information to another individual or organization. Usually, the attackers are doing this because they are trying to get some type of benefits by disturbing the victim's network. So, when we talk about cyber attacks, the next question that arises is, so how often it will occur? In fact, when we talk about businesses that are been going on, cyber attacks hit business every day. Former Cisco CEO John Chambers once said that there are two types of companies: those that have been hacked and those who don't yet know they have been hacked. Yes, this is actual scenario of the persons of the organizations that are working, because we know that nowadays no business, no organization would work without using software. And according to the Cisco annual cybersecurity report, the total volumes of events has increased almost fourfold between January 2016 and October 2017. And similarly, after the pandemic period, as the number of online users have increased, the number of people using internet and the smart devices have increased, the cyber attacks are increasing, and the incidents related to the cyber attacks are increasing day by day. So when we talk about cyber attacks, so why the people are doing it? Because these cyber attacks are launched by something. So why do people launch these cyber attacks? Because cyber crime, as I said, has increased every year as people try to benefit from the vulnerable business systems. Often attackers are looking for ransom. 53% of cyber attacks resulted in damages of more than $5 lakhs or more. Cyber threats can also be launched with ulterior motives. Some of the attackers look to obliterate systems and data as a form of hacktivism. So, what is a botnet? A botnet is a network of devices that has been infected with malicious software such as virus. And the attackers can control a botnet, a group, without the owner's knowledge, with the goal of increasing the magnitude of their attack. And often, a botnet is used to overwhelm systems in a distributed denial of service attack that is also called as DDoS attack. So here, the sentence which I would like to highlight is control a group, control a botnet control a botnet as a group without the owner's knowledge, with the goal of increasing the magnitude of their attack. So here you must be knowing that you never know when your system has been hacked. You never know it. And without your knowledge, your data is being stolen and you never know it. So you have to be very careful about it. So coming to the different types of cyber attacks that we have, yes, this malware, we have already discussed about this. Yes, this where it is a term that is used to describe malicious software, including spyware, ransomware, viruses, and worms, and it breaches the network through a vulnerability. Typically, when a user clicks a dangerous link or email attachment that then installs a risky software. And once inside the system, malware can block the access to key components of their network. It can install malware or additional information, a harmful software. Covertly, it will obtain the information by transmitting data from the hard drive, and it will disrupt certain components and render the system inoperable. That is, if you are not able to control, if you are unaware that your system has been hacked or it is has some kind of malware is there. So after some time, your system will just stop working and you will never know about it. The second is phishing. Phishing is the practice of sending fraudulent communications that appear to come from a reputable source, usually to an email. The goal is only to steal your sensitive data, like the data related to your credit card and login, or to install malware on the victim's machine. And it is a very common cyber threat that the people have have been facing across the world. The third type of cyber attack that is usually seen is man-in-the-middle attack, which is called as MITM attack. It is also known as eavesdropping attack. It will occur when the attackers insert themselves into a two-party transaction. So once the attackers interrupt the traffic, they can filter and steal the data. Two common entry points of entry for the MITM attacks are on unsecured public Wi-Fi. Attackers can introduce themselves between a visitor's device and the network without knowing the visitor passes all the information through the attacker to the attacker. So here I would like to tell, like some of the times we must be having a free Wi-Fi on public places like airports, railway station. So avoid using public Wi-Fi because many of us want to use the free Wi-Fi at these places because we feel that it is free. But when you're using this free Wi-Fi, be careful that you are more susceptible to the man-in-the-middle attack. And once a malware has breached a device, the attacker can install a software to process all of the victim's information. Means your all your information on your mobile. If you even consider a mobile, you have a lot of photos upload in it. You must be having in your details like the bank details, not directly, but sometimes. But yes, of course, because you are using nowadays, we use digital payment techniques. Some ideas we have online banking. So due to that, even when your mobile is getting attacked, so you are indirectly transferring all the information to the attacker. The fourth type of attack or the cyber attack is denial of service attack, which is also called as DOS attack. A denial of service attack floods system servers. So here what will happen is you will just face a condition where your device becomes very slow. It is because the attackers will flood your systems, your servers, and that is called as traffic congestion. And your system will not be able to work because the attacker has launched so many, some unwanted things into the network. So you cannot that. You can just imagine, like if you're going through the road and there are a lot of vehicles on the road, you are not able to move. So similarly, the attackers will be just inserting some unwanted things over here, we can say. And so our systems becomes very slow and we are not able to work. So with this, what will happen is we won't be able to do the work we actually want to do because our system, our devices will not work properly. So attackers can also use multiple compromised devices to launch this attack. And this is also called as the denial of service attack. Then the next type of cyber attack is SQL, that is a structured query language injection. It occurs when an attacker inserts some malicious or you can say some kind of code that is going to harm your system. It will insert the malicious code into a server that uses SQL and it will force the server to reveal information it normally would not. An attacker could carry out a SQL injection simply by submitting the malicious code into a vulnerable website search box. The next type of cyber attack is zero-day exploit. A zero-day exploit hits after a network vulnerability is announced. But before a patch or solution is implemented, the attackers target the disclosed vulnerability during this window of time. Zero-day vulnerability threat detection requires constant effort. Coming to the main area that we would like to discuss is about cybersecurity. So till now, we have just known in short about what is cybersecurity and what are the different types of cyber attacks and why we should be trying to protect ourselves from it. One of the main point that you must have till now, you must have known that we must save ourselves from this cyber attacks and we should be knowing about cybersecurity to save our systems, to save our devices, because there is a lot of data, a lot of private data, a lot of confidential data that is on our devices, and they don't want it to be revealed to anyone and to be used by anyone. So here I would like to come to the topic that is the leadership. So sometimes the people think that what is cybersecurity leadership? So in most businesses, cyber leaders are expected to secure the business. But when the company board makes big strategic decisions about the business model, product, and digital strategy, cybersecurity is just an afterthought. Yes, it is true. Because the companies they have been spending a lot on many other things. But yes, there are many companies who don't spend on the cybersecurity aspects. Might be they have less knowledge about it or they don't want to spend on it. But yes, this is true. And today, when we talk about cyber leaders, they should be proficient enough to embed security throughout the business operations. They should rapidly respond to threats and influence their fellow senior leaders. And therefore, these companies need to hire and develop security executives for their IT department who have the skills to do so. So this is about the right cyber leader. When we are talking about cyber leadership, it is also equally important to know about the right cyber leader. Cyber leaders should appreciate the technical capability, but they themselves need to be someone with an influential voice in business strategy, enterprise risk management, and technology decisions. Cyber leaders should focus on building right relationships across the business ecosystem alongside structuring, empowering, and growing teams. And thirdly, they should be able to translate abstract technical concepts into messages that can eliminate senior leaders both logically and emotionally and elicit their contribution. Just give me a minute. I think there was some problem on my side. The cybersecurity goals. In the next slide, I will be also talking about the objectives and the goals of cybersecurity. But when we talk about cybersecurity goals, yes, they are required for a success as a cybersecurity leader. Because today we are talking about cybersecurity and leadership. So the rapid proliferation of digital technologies and the growing sophistication of cyber threats have elevated the need to establish robust cybersecurity performance goals that are measurable and follow cybersecurity best practices. These goals, when they are combined with well-defined or actionable objectives, will serve as the foundation of a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy. Then, for your cybersecurity team, the setting goals and objectives communicates expectations and helps them understand how their work will impact a bigger picture. This leads to higher engagement, motivation, and productivity. So when you align your cybersecurity with your business goals, you will be more likely to gain buy-in, budget, and seat at the executive table. So as I said, there is a minor difference between the cybersecurity goals and cybersecurity objectives. Cybersecurity goals are broad statements of intent outline the organization's overall aspirations for cybersecurity. For example, your cybersecurity goals likely aim to protect your sensitive data and ensure the integrity of your system and reduce the chances of cyber risk and comply with the industry regulations and cultivate cyber awareness. Whereas coming to the cyber security objectives, it will describe how an organization will achieve its cybersecurity goals. Compared to the cybersecurity goals, cybersecurity objectives are more specific, measurable, and time bound. And usually, they are broken into smaller, manageable activities focused on cybersecurity performance. Cybersecurity goals are where you want to be, while cybersecurity objectives outline how to get there. So this is where the difference lies between the cybersecurity goals and cybersecurity objectives. So when you are considering a cybersecurity goal, the next question arises: what should I consider when setting the cybersecurity goals? So coming to the first one, you need to find out what system and process are most important to your company to drive revenue, deliver service to the customers, and fulfill promises. You need to understand the business strategies that will help you to prioritize where you put your cybersecurity resources and how you measure the cybersecurity performance. The next one, you have to identify the most valuable and sensitive data, the systems, and the assets within your organization. This will help you to focus your cybersecurity efforts on what matters the most for you. Then you have to assess your organization's current cybersecurity performance and capabilities by benchmarking them against established control frameworks, maturity models, and industry peers. And this will help you to establish a baseline of your current state before you set goals to a future state. So yes, leadership in cybersecurity, it is very important. And similarly, when you talk about leadership, coaching and mentorship is also equally important. Because cybercrime, if we look at it, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry that will threaten and stability and prosperity for years to come. Because day by day, as we go on progressing on using these smart devices every day, as we go on progressing and avoiding the cyber threats, the cyber attacks on your system, and we go on developing new methods to avoid the cyber attacks, at the same time, the attackers or the hackers, they are busy in developing new methods and developing new techniques of doing those cyber attacks. So we have to be always careful because now today, if we learn about a kind of attack, for example, if you learn about phishing that is going on, and if you develop some method to avoid it or to some method to protect your system from this kind of attack, so don't be in a uh, don't just believe that you will never face that attack again. The attacker will try to launch some other type of attack. So you have to be very careful. The second thing over here that I would like to speak is that the cybersecurity industry, it faces a daunting gap between the skills needed to fill available roles and the professionals who possess them. Yes, as this is something which every persons, especially the youngsters who are working in the software fields and those who want to progress, they should be knowing that when the software part is increasing or when this technology is improving, we as the persons, we as security professionals or software professionals or IT professionals or any person who is working with software, we need to Develop our skills according to the latest requirements of the industry. Because there are sometimes the people say that due to the technology advances, the people are not able to find jobs. But the real fact is that the companies are not able to find the right candidates with the right skills as well. So yes, we need to acquire the right skills that are required by the industry. And when here we are talking about cybersecurity, we need to have the right skills to work in the field of cybersecurity. Then, yes, I said, yes, of course, there are millions of jobs that are currently waiting for the qualified candidates. And in a survey, it has been found that most organizations report being affected in some way by the shortage. Yes, so there is shortage of skilled professionals, we can say, in this field. And in reality, if we see in the absence of skilled professionals, our schools, our governments, our hospitals, our public utilities, and many such organizations, due to this lack of resources, due to the measures for cybersecurity, we all have been just left out, or we have been exposed to so much of risk every day. Because even the schools, the hospitals, everywhere, the processes, there are a lot of processes, there are a lot of functions that are going on that just go on online. So a lot of data is being shared each and every day through this organizations like schools, colleges, hospitals. So we need to have the knowledge of cybersecurity, not just in the software fields, but every one of us in each and every organization, there should be measures where they should be talking about cybersecurity and they should be having awareness about cybersecurity. And of course, to close the skill gaps, anything near the place needed to address these issues, organizations, cybersecurity veterans, and early career professionals alike should consider the benefits of mentorship. For both, mentorship is again very important. Of course, we need mentors in every field because yes, because our mentors we can't do doing anything. So the next is, as I said, there is a gap. Oh, yeah, sorry, I think I had some network issues. Sorry for that. I was just sharing the screen once again. Okay. So there is a gap in the need of minding, we can say. So the Information Security System Association, ISSA, it is an international non-profit organization for security professionals. It conducted a survey in which it found that the cybersecurity skills shortage has touched 57% of the organization. And what was all, 95% believe the problem is only getting worse day by day. So there is a need, so the need for healthy cybersecurity talent pipeline is clearly pressing. While formal training will undoubtedly play a role in filling it, universities and vocational programs aren't capable of churning out the graduates needed for 3.5 million cybersecurity jobs that are expected to be available by 2025. Instead, mentoring programs, both formal and informal, can help provide the next generation of cybersecurity professionals. The support they need is to set up and fill these roles. And the current cybersecurity professionals can help identify and nurture talent from across the departments and help mentees focus on practical, on the job skills and closing the gap between the classroom and the corporate keyboard. So the companies think about what cybersecurity leadership is. The business leaders must thoroughly analyze their why for cybersecurity and be very clear regarding their choice. The chosen strategy will cascade down to operational activities, which will drive the business outcomes. And like in every field, you can't afford to be aimless. And similarly, when you talk about cybersecurity, you can't afford to be aimless or generic because without cybersecurity, without any kind of cyber strategy, there you will be at so much of stake. You will be at you won't know that how much problem you will be facing in the future. What kind of problem you are exposing yourself to? When we talk about cyber attack, it is not your system or the devices, but it is us who are going to face a lot of problems in future. So before deciding where the cybersecurity will sit, you have to determine the types of influence you want it to have. So giving the cyber leader and program proper authority is also important. They must have political sway and a top level mandate to orchestrate the change across the business. And then the cyber leaders must appreciate these technical capabilities and have people to handle them. But the leaders themselves need to be something different, an influential voice in business strategy, technology decision, and enterprise risk management. To make this a reality, they have to build good relationships across the business ecosystem, and at the same time, they have to keep on structuring, growing, and empowering their team. So these are some of the challenges that are faced by this cybersecurity leaders or the persons at the leadership positions when they want to work for the cybersecurity aspect. The first one is the multi-vendor proprietary point solutions. This creates a financially inefficient security architectures with increased vulnerabilities. Technology aligned reporting structure. The security leaders are primarily reporting to the CIO. Security initiatives, viewed primarily as technology solutions, create misalignment with business requirements, and this increases security spending cost. Obtaining an effective security budget is constant battle. If the security budget is measured against the percent of IT budget, this creates an ineffective security posture for the business. And black hat criminals don't care, meaning the bad hackers don't care if you're required to comply with the policy or law, nor do they care about your budget or resources. The time is now with the black hats, we can say, we only have to get a lucky one. Okay, and historically, the security teams have been built in vertical silos. This enhances miscommunication and weakens trust across the lines of business. So these are some of the, sorry. So these are some of the leadership skills because we are talking about leadership as a cybersecurity side. So these are some of the leadership skills for cybersecurity professionals. Of course, the first one, they say management skills. This is required very much because the people, because you have been working with a lot of people around, and you should be having the management skills. The second is integrity and ethical behavior. So when we are talking about cybersecurity, then we want to keep the data secure and you have to keep your devices secure. So first, yes, of course, ethical behavior. When, when we talk about all this, the hackers that have been doing, they have been stealing the data and they have been trying to trouble the people by stealing the data or attacking the system. So it is similar in the mindset that was having. So yes, of course, ethical behavior is very important because many of the times it has also been observed the people working at such responsible positions, they by mistake or sometimes due to some, have some monetary gains and all, they just hand over the data, they just share the data knowingly, unknowingly. So yes, of course, integrity and ethical behavior is very important. Then analytical skills, analytical thinking or analyzing is very important because like if you want to study about some kind of cyber attacks or a series of cyber attacks, so you should be able to analyze like what kind of attacks have been happening and what are a particular class of people or particular class of devices that are being attacked. So if those analytical skills are good among the cybersecurity professionals, obviously they will be able to come up with solutions because until and unless we know the reasons for the problems that have been arising, you want to be able to come up with solutions. So yes, analytical skills are very important when you are working with cybersecurity, where you need to analyze the different reasons for cyber attacks, the different types of cyber attacks, and the problems that have been caused by cyber attacks. Then the fourth is compliance related skills. Here, the professionals, they should be having a very good knowledge. In fact, a thorough knowledge of the subject when we are talking about. Yes, like I just tried to discuss the attacks, few attacks, the few types of cyber attacks. I tried to discuss about why they are happening. So if you study in detail, these are only few attacks, very basic attacks that I have told, but there are classifications that, like the DDoS attack, if we did, say, like the denial of service attack. So there are classifications even in that. Okay, so so when a person is working as a cybersecurity professional, he should be knowing not just the name of the attack, but he should be knowing the thorough knowledge about it. And the next is the person should be knowing, should have knowledge of the industry because yes, it is here, it is not just a software industry, we can say, but we know that the cyber attacks, the cyber crimes are happening everywhere. So here they should be knowing about the industry. Then once we know about the attacks, so what the problems they have been facing, so yes, we should be knowing. And when you know about the industry, we should be also knowing like how their data is, what kind of risk and they can face, which because the kind of risk or the kind of threats every industry or every organization is facing, they may differ because everyone is having different applications or different functions. And when you see that this cyber security, when we are talking about, or the cyber attacks that we are talking about, then obviously it is a problem. And when we have to solve the problem, so the cybersecurity leaders should have very good problem solving skills because uh, yes, it is a problem. So if we fail to have the problem solving skills, then I think we won't be able to we won't be able to protect ourselves, our systems, and our data from the attackers. So, as Stephen said earlier, that the hackers or the attackers or the breachers, they are always busy in developing new techniques. It is like if you just close one door, they are ready, they are finding ways to enter through another door into your house. Okay, so yes, of course, problem solving skill is very, very important for a cybersecurity leader. Then, innovation. Now, suppose innovation is finding something new. because there are new types of attacks that are being developed by the attackers or the hackers. So similarly, the cybersecurity leader should be proficient enough to come up with new type of solutions for avoiding these attacks. And yes, sometimes it is also that they have to work within a limited budget. And of course, good and concise communication, because we know that any field that you work, you won't be working. It won't work if you have a good communication skills. And it is not just speaking, but your communication should be very, you should be concise, where you are able to express whatever you feel in few words. It is not like you just go on my way of it is a small problem and I keep on speaking about it hours. It is not going to work. You should speak in a way where in very short span of time you are able to deliver your message. So this good and concise communication is applicable for the cyber security leaders also, because when they are facing those problems, they are detecting the problems, they are trying to solve the problems. So good and concise communication is very important, because here they have to tell the people about the problems, the different kind of problems in here, the attacks, the different kinds of attacks that the industries are facing, how, well, the reasons for these attacks, and how this can be avoided. And in this whole process, sometimes they also need to talk to other people to know more about it from the victims. The victim here, victims can be the people, it can be the organization. So, good and concise communication is very important. If the cybersecurity leaders they want to know the type of attack and also develop solutions for it. So, with this, I think yes, we are nearly yes, we just come to the end of the presentation. So yes, the cybersecurity has become an integral component of every organization working in today's digital age. But many people think that it is only for cybersecurity, it is only, we require technical skills. And if you have technical skills, the technical skills I here, I mean that if you have some kind of knowledge of coding or programming languages, or, a little bit of, installing some software and all, so it is enough. In fact, this is not enough, because cybersecurity professionals also need to take managerial roles, because with the increase in the number of the devices and the internet and using all the online facilities, yes, there have to be a special class of people who have to think about reducing and avoiding the cyber attacks. And some organizations will thrive while others will struggle, and much of it's based on the decisions and the actions of leader. Yes, because as I already said, that there are organizations who are very aware about the cybersecurity aspects, but there are others, though they know about it, but they don't want to work on it, or they don't want to spend on it, or they are not realizing the importance of it. So in such a scenario, there are chances that the organizations who are not giving much importance to this cybersecurity, then yes, they may suffer in future. So we require more and more people to come up as cybersecurity professional, and not just a cybersecurity professional, but they should be able to take up the leadership role and make decisions for it and try to solve this problem. And this, of course, every organization needs good leaders, especially, and we need here leaders means of course the people working at the leadership roles, because and when we require this leadership people working at the leadership roles, because when the thing gets tough, when we face some difficult situation, so at that time we feel that it is not possible to deal with the situation with the skills we have. Like, for example, if I have a mobile or if I have a laptop and it gets hacked, so of course I need someone to deal with it. For example, or a better example can be like, if you fall sick, you always need a doctor. So similarly, when we are talking about cybersecurity, you always require a cybersecurity professional, and you need to work on it. You need to, make more leaders and the people who are already working in those domains, they need more grooming so that we have a next generation of leaders. So when we talk about the cybersecurity leaders, they should be viewed as team agents, culture builders, transformers, visionaries, and yet able to keep their fingers on the tactical pulse of the enterprise's security posture. So with this, I come to the end of my presentation, and thank you all for your patient listening. And these are some of the references that I have used for making my presentation. So thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for joining and listening to me. So any more questions?
Hello, doctor. Can you hear me? Hello?
Sorry, I was mute. Yes, I am able to hear you. Please.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, we have benefited a lot in today's class.
Thank
And
you, sir.
I think you have done very, very much. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
All right.
Yes, anyone else? So thank you very much. So I'm ending the session here, and tomorrow again we have the session on the same time. So please join with us at 7 p.m. IST tomorrow. So thank you, one and all.
All right. Thank you. Goodbye.